have John Cassidy with us from Duplicates Inc. John, I'm so excited to have you here. Thanks so much for coming. Wanted to ask you a lot of questions about the company. Obviously, it's been around for a very long time, like 30 years, which is hard in today's day and age, made it through COVID, all of these things. I heard that you started it back in college with a friend by the name of Scott. I want to hear about it. I want to hear about how you made it this far. You know, what's the secret?
Well, you know, first, thanks for having me out and being on your show, and this is great opportunity for sure. So it's exciting to be a part of this. So yes, when we graduated, we were you know, winding up our career at Coastal, and we were out one night and ran into a classmate, and we said, "Man, what are you going to do when we get done?" And he's like, "I don't want to really work for anybody," and neither did I. And I guess you could say we were lazy, and we decided to, you know, start a business for ourselves. And you know, both of his parents and my parents, they weren't too happy because they just spent a lot of money for college, and it wasn't that they were dream stealers at all, but they were looking to protect us. And
of course,
you know, career is more probably more secure than a business, because most businesses fail.
Are they happy now?
Well, I think they would be. My parents are no longer with us, but absolutely, I think that they would be very, very proud of what I've done, and what I found along the way is that embrace failure, and by embracing failure, it's not the opposite of success. It's part of success, right? So most people that you know that are the most successful people that are in the news or anything, that they failed more than they've ever succeeded.
Of course.
And so we've become great students and find businesses, and it doesn't have to be printing firms or anything like that that we want to be like, profitability wise, or building our team, and how do we become great leaders, and we find out what they're doing, and then we just study it, and then we implement it, right?
So he's still with you?
Scott, yeah. My business partner Scott Creech is awesome, man. He's one of the smartest fellas I know, and he runs our business operation. He makes sure that we're profitable. He makes sure that our expenses are in check, and we've been together 30 years without arguments.
Wow.
Right? It's because we respect each other.
Right.
There's a mutual respect there, and we understand, like, you know, Scott's going to make the right decisions for the business, and I handle sales and marketing and business development. How are we going to grow? How are we going to disrupt ourselves? You know, if we keep disrupting the industry and keep evolving, because it's a mature, growing industry, right? Is how do we do that? So he respects that from my point of view.
So, you know, a lot of times people have gone so digital that I got to ask the question, you know, do you feel like print is dying as an industry?
No, not at all. You know, if you don't change, I believe that if you don't grow in any business, right, that you'll die, right? So if you're not growing, you're dying. And I believe that that print is actually growing, but for the folks, the leaders of the industry, have to take it upon themselves and be stewards of the industry and figure out how do we reinvigorate it, right? So I'm incoming president of PICA, which is the print industry of the Carolinas. So it's an association of for the Carolinas print companies. Now that's not just paper printing; it's sign companies, it's screen printers, anyone that's putting ink on paper or on an item. And we are developing a new campaign to reinvigorate print as a viable communication tool and also a viable career path for young folks. And it's called Print Is. And we're super excited about that. So how we've done that, how we've made sure that duplicates, how we've made sure to keep print going for 30 years, right, is that we've continued to evolve as a company, disrupt the market, if you will, and disrupt ourselves, so reinvent ourselves continuously. And we've done that by adding new products, new services. One of the most recent things that we've developed is when we hit the recession back in 2008. You know, it was a terrible time because we just borrowed about a lot of money, you know, a few $1 million to build a facility, buy presses, and the market tanked. Went to our mentors, asked them what to do, and they said, hey, do what you guys do best, which is marketing. We're really marketers disguised as printers, and we created Market Smart. And Market Smart is a tool and a resource that we provide to our customers where we're not just a vendor, we actually become a partner, and we help them design marketing campaigns that include print and digital, and we integrate those two in a way that is viable, effective, engaging, and very affordable.
Well, you know what's funny? We had a conversation that wasn't here where you said to me that holograms are becoming a thing where somebody can scan something and it really turns to life.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Right.
Amazing.
And that's, that's being a pioneer on technology, and how do we bring that into our business to provide answers and new ways for our clients to market is very, it's part of what we feel is our responsibility, our duty, and why we're here.
It's not like the old way of thinking where we just see this guy with a printing press and it's black and white and it's not dynamic and it's not any of these things. So I think it's really great that they can come to you and that you do have that and that you can really make it really current and not what sometimes people think it's stuck in some Stone Age type of way or whatever.
Absolutely, and that's why we are where we are in business, and it's because our customers' average time with us is 15 years, where the average in the industry is about 7. We're not considered a vendor. For most of our partners, we're considered a partner, as I call them. I don't call them clients or customers.
Which means you're invested.
Yeah,
and you're passionate. I mean, you could just see that you're so passionate about what you do, which is amazing.
Yeah, I believe in it.
Can't fake it.
No, I'm not an actor.
Yeah, I just played actor on TV. Perfect. Okay, and speaking about that, why do businesses use Duplicates Inc. over an online provider?
Well, it's a great question because a lot of folks are I want to make sure I use my words right, are price conscious, right? And so there's a huge difference between the cheapest out there and the lowest cost, right? And so when we look at it that way, and we can't be everything to all businesses out there. So we're selective on who we can work with, because if we have a company out there that is looking to find the cheapest print provider, absolutely go online and you're going to get what you're looking for, right? And most of the time, their satisfaction is not what they want it to be, right? Because they submit a project that they designed themselves, and when they get it, I mean, those online companies you're not even a customer, you're a number, right?
Well, it's probably not effective either.
No.
Because you do this all the time. And if you do partner with people like you said you do, then you know what works, you know what doesn't work, and that's an invaluable tool, to be honest, because if you're going to spend the money, even if you spent it, but it doesn't have the rate of return that you're expecting,
that's right.
Does it matter?
No, exactly, and that's what we say. When we meet with a new partner, we'll say, "Hey, what's your definition of success, and what are we trying to achieve with this this idea here?" So we're able to backward engineer the whole what we're trying to do with the piece. It could be direct mail, or it could be digital ads, or whatever it is, and say, "Okay, so we're trying to get 300 new customers for you." And let's figure out how to do that, and then we don't become it's about price, it's about return.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, makes total sense.
Absolutely.
So John, what services? It's been 30 years. So what services have you added along the way?
Well, it's 30 years is a long time, it is. It started with a copier, and then it grew into a printing press, and then it grew into offering direct mail, or actually variable data color copies. We were the first company in the Horry County to have a color copier when they first came out.
Oh, wow.
And then we added variable data, and signs came along, direct mail, and marketing services now dynamic marketing services, where we integrate direct mail with targeted digital ads, where we can actually take your mailing list and we match it to social media addresses, and when we create the digital ads that complement the direct mail, we hit just the people that are on that mailing list first with digital ads, then they get the direct mail piece, and then they retarget it with Google ads, right? So that's where we're trying to embrace digital. And what's awesome is that you can see all this on our website, which is duplicatesInc.com, and Inc is INK.
Okay.
Right?
Makes sense.
Yeah. Duplicates with an S, and Inc, INK.com, duplicatesinc.com, or they can always call us, speak with one of our expert marketers. Our team is awesome, man. Everybody on our team is they take it personal. They want to make sure every project we do is like their own, right? And
like you said, they're really
absolutely,
invested,
man.
and they're almost like a partner.
The best thing we've ever done was get that mentorship from successful business folks, and they told us to make sure that you find the best people in your area to get on your team, and you pay them a better than average wage, and we do. We're not greedy
That's
at all.
so good to hear, because all we hear about is in our area how we're not up to standards of other parts of the country. So that makes me thrilled to hear that.
No, see, I think, like, not to sidetrack, but I think that if more entrepreneurs would think with the mindset of that, I want to take what the leaders in our area are paying and make that our floor. Right. And let's work off of that, then we automatically become better, right?
Exactly.
I think. I mean, it makes sense to me.
Absolutely.
But, the folks, if they want to ever discuss a marketing strategy or anything like that, they can call us up at 843-248-2574. And that rings my office in Conway, and we're not automated with voicemail. Well, we do have voicemail, of course, but you get a live person speaking with you.
Yeah, not a sea of extensions.
That's right.
Exactly.
Right.
That could be very frustrating.
I believe in it. So
Right.
we're always. You'll find this about duplicates and my team is that we are always evolving and trying to make ourselves better. So the newest technologies, as we said earlier, with augmented reality and bringing things to life through print, we're all about that.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, in 2018, Hurricane Florence hit, and my understanding is that you almost were completely devastated, when it came to Duplicates Inc. So I heard a lot of great things about you being caring about the community, creating an app. I mean, this is the most amazing part of this story. So I'd love for you to share it.
Well, thanks. And I'm humbled by it because I'm very thankful that we have built a business that allowed me to pursue a passion of helping businesses, helping a community. When the hurricane, when Florence came, we were flooded. There was a handful of businesses in Conway that were actually flooded. All of the businesses in Conway and community were affected by this.
I feel like people were in shock too, because it was something we hadn't seen ever.
It was crazy, right? So when we built our facility, we had to build 5 feet higher than the 500-year flood, and we did. And we weren't in a flood zone. We didn't have to have flood insurance. Well, we had 24 inches of water come in our building for 15 days with no flood insurance. Yeah, I know. So when we finally got into the building after the 15 days, obviously that water, it was like a bomb went off in our facility, and we had everything up high. We put as much stuff as we could up on pallets, and it still breached the 4 pallets.
It's like we were told it was coming, but you didn't believe that it could ever hit that level. I remember hearing it. I lived in an area that got flooded, and I thought, oh, okay, we're going to pack up, and like you said, put some things up a little high, but it was unbelievable. Man,
it was so crazy. We've got great pictures and videos about it. But when we walked into the building, we see all this devastation. And my partner and I, we looked at each other, and I promise you, we have a thing for 30 years. We almost know how each other are thinking. Yeah, of course. And both of us were like, man, we're done. We're going to have to file bankruptcy. Right? And bankruptcy is the first thing. It's the easiest thing, right? So how do you get out of all this debt and this loss? Right. And I said to Scott, we got an option. We can cash in retirement. Yeah. Because we got 9 team members that it's not just them. Their families rely on the wages that we pay and to survive, right? And so that's what we did, is that we took the hit. And I think that's part of a good team captain. Yeah, right? Absolutely. And we just did it that way, right? So we made it through. And it's not, look at me with a big S on my chest. It's just like, that's, in my opinion, that's what I do. That's what I'll always do, is that, it's not about me. It's how do I help others, which led into, let's talk about those other businesses in Conway. Yeah. And I'm not talking just downtown Conway. It was all of Conway, right? Yeah, of course. They were all affected by this flood, and thankfully you have things like this devastation. When in my head, and I'm simple-minded, is that I think, why, it takes things like that to bring community together, right? Because you do see it out. Man, it is. And sometimes, I mean, God, maybe that's what he does, right? Is that says, hey, man, we're going to bring you guys together, and boom.
I always call it a God job. I get it.
Right. And so I loved seeing the outpour from outside of the community saying, how can we help? Right? We'll do anything. And I believe that people mean that wholeheartedly.
Absolutely.
It's really hard for you to come in, though, in those times and be around the diseased water or do sandbags or start ripping out drywall. But so I got online and I did some Facebook Lives and I said, a way that you can help is don't forget that these businesses are open and come to Conway and just be a customer for the business, the restaurants, for the retail stores downtown. And it worked. It's crazy. And when that started happening, we were working on getting duplicates back up and running, but luckily I own a few buildings downtown that we felt over the years to renovate and to revitalize. And one of them didn't have a renter at the time. And we were able to operate out of there, and while we were going, but I created an app. So I didn't do it, right? I was a co-creator, and we bought the software. We learned it, so we didn't have to send it out to overseas, and we created an app to promote the businesses in Conway. It's called We Are Conway. We're trying to scale it now, so we're going to take it down to WAC local app. You can find it on both of the app stores, the Apple App Store, Google Play Store.
You're doing better than Trump.
No.
No, I'm just saying he doesn't have True Social even on Android yet. You're doing a great job.
Well, 24,000 downloads later.
Wow.
And about 300 people per day use the app. And what was great is I created the app not from a monetization standpoint, but a way to help the community, to help the community on both sides, the business community, but also help the community, the residents, to have a way to support local, because people they want to support local because it makes you feel right?
Yeah. Conway's an amazing town. I feel like it's so much like that.
Yeah, it is.
And your servant spirit, bringing everybody together and making an app. I mean, that's a huge testament to the fact that you cared about people in your community before you decided to run. So if you would share with us a little bit about this run, I'm really excited for you. I'm excited for everyone to have the opportunity to vote for you, because again, you're not just a person who's running, who is out shaking people's hands and kissing babies and doing all these things because you want something in return. You did these things for your community prior to that, before you ever thought you were going to run. So I think that is a huge thing. You're not just a person who's so to speak fronting, saying that you care. You actually are that person. So share with us, what you want to do in the future to make your district a better place.
Well, thanks for that, and it's humbling, honestly, and before I get into it really quick about the one last thing about the app is that you can download the app. We Are Conway on the App Store. You'll see it. It's great, and we're getting ready to revitalize it. And what I'm finding is that the apps have to be, so they don't get stagnant, they have to be reinvented. And so we're doing that. So just a plug for that. Please do.
I will absolutely download it.
Great things there. Cool. So the new district came out, District 61, because of the growth of our area. And what was really curious to me is that we were, it was created and I didn't hear about it. And not that I'm in politics and we've worked on the backside of a lot of campaigns, but I was, as a resident, I was really curious, like, well, why don't I know about it? And started talking to other people, and they didn't know about it. And it's like, why weren't we notified that we're in a new district? I just found that really puzzling. And a few people said, hey, John, we think you'd be really good at this. And that's in itself just, it's nice to hear, and it's humbling. And I was up for the task. And because what I have seen over the years and more frequently now is that there's been so much stalemate. People just, it's my way or it's my way, and we don't get anywhere when we think that way. And I don't know if it's success. I mean, I don't call business success, as you get older, as you get as old as I am. Success has a different definition now. And I look at my children, and I've always taught them to believe in themselves, as I do with people I meet, right?
Right.
It's like, let's build you up as a person and change that thinking that you have, that you're not worthy to do, or you can't fulfill your dream, you can't start a business.
Yep.
And I was like, I said, man, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to represent the residents, and I'm going to represent the people of the way I've helped build my company, and that was through teams, right? So I believe this is that there's a lot of different problems out there, right? We just talked about a couple, flooding, our infrastructure, our education system, and we can go on and on and on, right? But how do you eat an elephant? I found the easiest way is one bite at a time.
Right.
But what I also have found along the way is that if we can get like-minded people together, right? And in my experience over 30 years, and you're an entrepreneur as well, what happens when we get a bunch of us in a room and we say that there's a problem? We figure out how to fix it.
And there's no ego in the room.
No, it's not about us.
No, it isn't.
It's about the problem.
Exactly.
The problem's the enemy. Let's fix it.
Yeah.
Right? And my whole purpose is to get involved at this level, at the state level, and find I want to be the dumbest guy in the room because I know I can only get better.
Right.
But I want to be able to use the little talent I have, which is, I think my excitement is contagious.
It is.
And are you excited?
I am.
Great.
I'm so excited.
Because I want to get people. I want to get folks
it's true. It is exciting.
And I believe that
I think the app is exciting.
I think we can get even lawyers excited.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If I can get a lawyer excited, then I think I would go from entrepreneur to magician.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
No.
Maybe that's your next gig is magician.
We'll get
Politician, magician.
Yeah, magic man. No, we'll get we'll get the folks that I feel that are like-minded and not so ego, and say, hey man, let's get together, or hey girl, let's get together and let's fix this thing. Let's be problem solvers for these different items along the way.
And hear people.
Yeah.
And be about people.
Well, my website, voteforjohncassidy.com.
Okay.
Right, is we have a form on there, and I think it's presumptuous when a political candidate says, "I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that," and to me, that's rhetoric. To me, when I hear that message, you're already telling me you know what my problem is, but you never spoke with me.
Right.
Now, granted, I'm not naive. There are common problems out there, but what's important to me is not necessarily what's important to you.
Exactly.
Not necessarily what's important to my neighbor next door, or this district is big. It's downtown Conway all the way to the Waterway, 501 and 544, everything in between, pretty much. And so definitely what's important to me is not necessarily what's important to someone in Arrowhead, or in Legends, or in Burden Ridge, and or Castlewood or Woodwinds. Is that we created the website, so there's a part on the website you can go to, and I want to hear from you. Tell me what's important to you.
I love that too, because it's almost like you're saying in the same context that you don't want to play favorites.
No.
That you're there for everyone in a communal way, which is really, again, what you were doing before you ran. I mean, that's what the app is. The app doesn't ask what religion somebody is. It's about diversity and inclusion. It includes everyone. It's not saying only this type of business, not this type. It's an everybody thing, which I think is fantastic.
Absolutely. And that's the only way to be, right? To really be successful.
Exactly.
And it's just the right time in my life also, because let's talk about that. I've had a lot of people that say, John, you're already busy.
Right.
But what I know is, and
yes, I do.
True entrepreneurs, we figure out how to make more time.
Right, for things that are important.
That's it, right? And I didn't just do this on a whim. I spoke with my business partner for 30 years, and I asked him, "Yeah, you good with this?"
And that's a testament to you as well. The fact that you have a business partner for 30 years, that's rare in itself. I mean, people have a weird cancel culture about relationships. People don't want to work at relationships. If you have long-term relationships like that involve money and ego at times and being heard, it means you have fantastic communication skills to be able to work. I'm sure you had problems. I'm sure it wasn't always perfect. So you even had big things like Florence hitting. So you made it through all of that. It means that you can work with anybody under stress, monetary stress as well, feelings, emotions, lifetime, events that happened. I mean, that's a huge testament to you as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And it is. When I get committed to something, I'm committed, right? And so 30 years with my business partner, Scott. Been married for 25 years, and she's a saint because she put up with me for 25 years. And, we raised 2 great girls.
What's her name?
Sean. My wife is Sean Cassidy.
Okay.
Don't make fun of that.
Okay, that's good. I always feel like, I'm a woman, so I'm always like, there's a woman behind you. I know she has to be amazing. So.
Absolutely. Sean's great. Cancer survivor. So she had breast cancer 6 years. So that's awesome. Strong lady. And then my daughters Haley and Hannah. So Haley's now 24, working in Manhattan. Graduated Wofford.
Stuff over there right now too.
Accounting, and Hannah's graduating from USC as a nurse. And this is what they wanted to do. And I believe in building them up as well.
Exactly.
And what's great about Scott and his family is that we are best friends outside of work. So, we were there when his kids were born. He was there when our kids were born. We've traveled together as families, and we're best friends. Like last night we went to a Pelicans game, me and Scott together. It's just, that's who I am, right?
Yeah. It's not cursory for you. It's getting to know people.
That's it. It really is. And I'm looking forward to representing District 61.
I am too.
100%. So, it's important that folks get out and vote June 14th for this primary because, I'll put it this way, is that if there was a way that you could have representation in Columbia and have it from someone that is doing it from their heart and someone that is not there for other agendas, would that be the person that you'd vote for?
Absolutely.
Right, and I think John
and someone
Cassidy's
who people
that person.
say, some people who say you don't have time or you have so much going on, you could just not. So, thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank
you very much.
so
much today.
I appreciate being here. Thank you so much. It was an honor, and I'm very humbled about it.
Thanks.